Mini episode 884 of the FDH Lounge is brought to you by Sportsology, delivering unconventional columns and webcasts about sports, TV, music, movies, and more. Follow them on the web at sportsology.com.
The FDH Lounge. You want to schedule your life around it.
A long time ago, on a gloomy, wet Cleveland spring night, two men stand alone amidst the late-night drizzle. Their voices echo across the vacant station parking lot as they debate the merits of the great American radio show that have been missing for far too long. On that night, an idea was born. That idea became the FDH Lounge. Welcome to the FDH Lounge.
Welcome to FDH Lounge mini episode number 884 and our preview of NFL Week 4. I'm FDH Managing Partner Rick Morris here with a look around the league and picks for each game. I was 7-9 last week, 1-2 on my Big Three, and 1-0 on my lock pick, bringing me to 21, 25-1, 5-4, and 2-1 on the year in those categories. We start as always on Thursday night with the league's most historic rivalry as the Bears come to Lambeau Field, getting 7 points as they have been all week long. It's hard to see the Packers not taking the series lead in victories in this game, but covering is a different story. With the Bears' prowess at running the football and Green Bay's injuries on the offensive line, that won't be happening. In London, it's a non-conference matchup with the Saints laying 2.5 points to Miami in a game that opened as a pick'em. In an 8-8 league, this line move smacks of overreacting to last Sunday's games, so we're on the Dolphins. In an always physical divisional battle, the Steelers come to Baltimore laying 2.5 in a game that opened at 1.5. Although we whiffed on the Ravens last week, we called it that they were an overinflated balloon based on their first 2 weeks. Pittsburgh is a far more legit 2-1, so they're our pick here. The Titans travel to their franchise's ancestral home, Houston, for a divisional tilt that is a pick'em and open with Tennessee laying 1.5. The Texans' D is just a little bit sharper right now, which is why we're on them. The two dome franchises of the NFC North square off when Detroit visits Minnesota with a pick'em line. The Lions at this point seem to look better than they actually are, so we're thinking that may start to reverse itself and the Vikes are the play. Buffalo is traveling to the site of heartbreak, bouncing down to the ATL where they lost the most recent of their 4 consecutive Super Bowl appearances. They're getting 9.5 from the Falcons, up from 7.5. Surprisingly, their defense has been better than Atlanta's so far, but that seems due to change. Take the home team. The Bengals are laying 3 points on the road this week, which might seem impossible against any other team in the NFL right now, but they're at Cleveland. After the Browns pooped their pants in a game designed to show exactly where they stand right now, the national media's blind cynicism about the franchise right now is warranted until they prove otherwise. Take Natty. Similarly, fathoming the Jags as a road fave is difficult, but the team getting 3 points down from 3.5 is the Jets. Bigger money is on Jacksonville, while more concentrated money is on New York, making this pick risky, but there's no way that the Jets get their second victory this early in the season. Get on the Jaguars. This is a week that has a lot of historic homecomings. The Giants travel to Tampa, site of their unbelievable upset win in Super Bowl 25, getting 3 points up from 4. Right now, the Buck defense looks just like the tonic that New York needs, so look for them to cover and win outright. The Philadelphia Eagles are at the Los Angeles Chargers. Those are words never before spoken about an NFL matchup. LA is laying 1 in a very tough game to diagnose. There appears to be a bit more smart money on the home team playing at the junior college soccer stadium, so take them. The Niners are at Arizona, getting 7.5 up from the opening 6. While this will be another horrid season for San Fran, they have the mark of a team that will hang closer in many of their losses, so look for them to cover against a mediocre at best card team on a short week. A Sunday night game initially anticipated as Andrew Luck versus Russell Wilson will now fall way short of that mark as the Colts get 14 in Seattle, up from 11.5. Jacoby Brissett doesn't have the luxury of playing the Brownies this week, but nor have the Seahawks looked dominant at any point this season, so look for Indy to crawl through the back door. On Monday night, the Chiefs try to keep their unbelievable start impeccable at home against Washington, laying 7 as they have all week long. In this Indian Civil War, look for the Redskin defense to stop playing over their heads and allow the Chiefs to cover. Going to the Big Three, in another fevered battle in the brutal AFC West, Denver spots 2.5 at home to Oakland in a game that started at Pick'em. The Broncos' big edges in rushing yardage and time of possession, combined with the Raiders' putrid 51.2% rate of failure in stopping teams on third down, makes the choice here obvious. The LA Rams and the Cowboys played many storied games in the 1970s when they were battling for NFC supremacy. They meet again Sunday in Dallas, with the home team starting the week laying 8.5 and now spotting 7. Given the great progress that Los Angeles has made this year, we're making this a why ask why game and taking the sometimes feeble Cowboys laying a full touchdown here. In our 1,000-star gold-plated Lock of the Millennium for Week 4, in a rematch of Super Bowl 38 that is unlikely to feature a reprise of Janet Jackson flashing her titties, New England hosts Carolina laying 10.5 in a game that opened at 8. By the way, how appropriate is this matchup in a week that news broke of Justin Timberlake allegedly returning to the Super Bowl? On the surface, the Panthers are the last team who would be able to take advantage of the soft Patriot D, but they're also due for a bounce back, so look for them to cover. Thank you for tuning in to this mini episode of the FDH Lounge.
As we bring the show to a close, we would like to extend our deepest gratitude to NBC, CBS, ABC, Fox, all Clear Channel affiliates, TNT, TBS, USA, UPN, Deadspin.com, YouTube.com, YTMND.com, MySpace.com, various blogs, Fox News, CNN, CNBC, MSNBC, IamBoard.com, Billboard.com, Google.com, ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN News, ESPN Classic, NBA TV, NFL Network, Sports Time Ohio, Athlon Magazine, Comedy Central, Cartoon Network, The Boomerang Channel, QVC, BET, The Spice Channel, Steno Notebooks, Manwich, Papermate Office Supplies, waitresses, strippers, bartenders, garbage men, janitors, microwave popcorn, the writers of The Office, Scrubs, Entourage, My Name is Earl, Oz, Metalocalypse and the Boondocks, Aquafina, and the Periodic Table of Elements.